Welcome back to my channel, everyone. It's Candace Chantel, your rapid manifestation coach, and I teach you the quickest, easiest, most low effort ways possible to manifest. Okay, if you're a member of this channel, this team, this community, you know manifesting isn't complicated, it's simple. As you guys know, I do offer multiple coaching options, from like super small packages to larger, more extended packages. So take a look at the links in the description box below if you want me to help you materialize your desires into your life. Okay, so recently I got a comment on a video that was like, man, this story is exactly what I need. I'm currently in a career that I really kind of don't want to be into. I want to transition out of it. Like, can you help me figure it out? So I'm just going to tell you guys exactly what I did when I was transitioning out of a career that was really just like draining the life out of me, into what I do now, and making literally probably like 4 times the amount of money I was making in that career. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. It was a while ago, but I remember all the steps, okay? Even down to the exact affirmations, which are not as complicated as you may think. All right. So first, a little backstory. I was teaching. I was a math teacher, and I taught middle school kids, and I taught anywhere from 6th to like 9th grade math. And you guys, I did it for like 5 years in total. I think I did like 4 years at one school and then 1 year at another school, because people kept telling me, try out a different set of students, try out a different school, try out a different school district before you want to quit. But as teachers know, and this was 5 years ago, this was pre-pandemic, when everything was normal, when, like I know right now you have all of these, things in the media about teachers and how they're burnt out and there's going to be a shortage. But this was even prior to all of that. And you guys, I would come home, and he was my boyfriend at the time. We're married now, but he was my boyfriend at the time. And literally, I would just come home and go to sleep wherever I was. On the couch, if I made it to the bedroom, I would be so worn out from dealing with the kids all day, dealing with their behaviors, the administration. It was just something I didn't want to do anymore. And around this time, freelancing was already pretty popular. People were already like working from home more, you know what I mean? But it wasn't like the primary type of work like, say, people would look for now. So it's not like it was during a time where remote work from home jobs were just like all over the place like they are now. But I was saying to myself, you know what? I want to make more money. The fact of the matter is, I had like a good job, right? A good state government job, whatever you want to call it. And I did not have like the ceiling that you can make as a teacher, because your pay and your rates or whatever are like mandated by the state. It is so sad. And in my state, we're in like the bottom freaking 10 states for teacher pay. Like seriously, or at least at that time we were. So it was like, I could double my salary if I taught for my entire working career. If I taught all the way up until I was like ready to retire at 50 years old, you know what I mean? And there was no way that was happening. So I decided, I was like, no, this is crazy. I want to have more time for me, more time for, my family, just my life. I want to make more money and just have more freedom, not have to like wake up and have to rush to school at 7 o'clock in the morning, putting on these clothes that like I hate wearing. Oh, it's like all of it. So I decided, I was like, you know what? I want a work from home job, and I want to be making at least $5,000 per month. So what did I do to get there? I did believe in manifestation at the time. I actually was following law of attraction at the time. Had not heard of law of assumption, but it's funny because the things that I was doing line up with law of assumption. It's just so funny. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to make that transition, and how you can make that transition to whatever you want to do, whether you want to stay in your same job and get a higher pay, whether you want to go from in-person to remote, or you just want to switch fields completely. I ended up getting this awesome job for like a startup company or whatever. I was making not quite $5,000. I think I was making like $4,000 per month at the time. And even though I'm not with that company anymore, ever since then, any job that I did after that was always remote, was always for more pay. And I eventually ended up landing where I am now, which is like my forever job, where I ultimately make literally 4 times more than I made at, teaching, and probably twice as much as I can make even if I had taught my entire professional career. Okay. So how did I do it? First, I made a list of like 4 statements. It's so funny because it's like exactly how I manifest now, even though I didn't know about law of assumption. Anyway, I made a list of like 4 statements that just said what I wanted. So literally I had this planner, and I still have it because I go back and look at that planner sometimes and I'm like, what was I doing when I manifested this? But I basically said, I am so happy and grateful that I make $5,000 per month. That was my first statement. My next statement, I am so excited that I get to work from home. I can work from anywhere just using my laptop. My next statement, it's so easy for me to get hired. Like, I find a job so quickly, it blows my mind. And the fourth statement, I have so much freedom and flexibility in my new job. I just love it. So those were the 4 things that I said. And those essentially now would be like the affirmations that I would use if I were trying to manifest something simple. So first, I just said how much I wanted to make. I'm so happy and grateful that I make $5,000 per month in my new job. I am so excited that I get to work from home, work remotely, just from my laptop. So those were the 2 characteristics that I wanted in the job. Then people always are worried about the job market. No one wants to apply for jobs. Like, as a teacher, the whole application process is like so different from applying to regular jobs. I was like, ugh, I don't even want to go through the interviews, go through the cover letters, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, nope, doesn't matter. It is so easy for me to get hired. Like, I get hired so fast. It's crazy. So I kind of took away that, those worries and apprehensions. And then the other thing that I wanted overall for my life was just more flexibility. I was tired of being chained to driving to a location. I was tired of being chained to having to be there by a certain time, because you guys, how stressful is it? Like, when you have a class at freaking 7:45 a.m., can you imagine sleeping in one day and you literally know you have a class full of students there and a hallway full of teachers who would be like, where is she? And a principal who's like, where are you? Like, just because you slept in one day? Oh my God. Like, I'm so glad I'm away from all that. So my last affirmation was, I have so much freedom and flexibility with my new job. Like, oh, it just feels amazing. I wanted to give myself that relief, that feeling of having freedom, because ultimately that feeling was what I was chasing. I wasn't really at that time chasing a particular type of job. I wasn't chasing a position. I wanted to chase that feeling. That's what I wanted to have more than anything. I wanted the money. I wanted the remoteness, like the flexibility and that feeling of just having freedom over my work. And, when I do it, how I do it. And what's crazy is that ever since then, even though I have gotten other jobs, that feeling and that whole scenario, that environment has persisted. Even though I'm making more money, it's like I have more freedom with every job that comes. Okay. So use those if that's the kind of thing that you're interested in. If you're interested in something else, leave me a comment and maybe I can help you guys out. So that was the first thing I did, was use those affirmations to kind of change my mindset. And I said them every day. Like I said, it was in my planner. So every time I opened my planner for the day, I would look at them and I would say them. And I probably just, and at that time, I wasn't even like right now when I affirm, I might sometimes I affirm like while I'm doing stuff, like while I'm doing the laundry or if I'm driving, but sometimes, right, I just sit back and I'm just like, okay, let me focus on these affirmations and run them and loop them and really get them to dig in. But at that time, I didn't know anything about that. Literally all I was doing was just looking at my statements, repeating them, repeating them a few times. And I probably did it like in the morning after school, like once my school day was over, I would sit in my car and I would repeat them then. And, that's it. So that just goes to show you like the constant repetition. There's literally no wrong way to do it. There's no wrong way to affirm. You don't have to be in SATs. You don't have to be, focusing so much. You don't have to be like whatever you think, whatever you put into your mind, like those are actually also limitations. You're always doing it right. I knew nothing about the law of assumption back then. And yet my job, that particular desire, manifested so quickly that I couldn't even wait until the end of the school year before I got the new job, before I got hired. Okay. It was that fast. And I know that's bad to quit during a school year if you're a teacher. But again, I was so burnt out and tired and sick. Like I couldn't do it. There are substitute teachers for that. I couldn't do it. So anyway, that's how fast it happened. And I think I started in like January or February with the affirmations. It was like coming back from Christmas break. I was just like, oh my God, I cannot do this for another 6 months. So that's when I started, was like somewhere between January and February. And literally by like March, April, I was out of there. Like I didn't even make it to the final year testing in May and June. Okay. So some of the other things that I did, which one of them is like a key pillar in what I do now, which is called like micro actions, right? So I was taking micro actions to get to where I wanted to go. Like, yes, we're effortlessly manifesting over here, meaning we're not stressing, we're not worrying, but at the same time, we're not just sitting on our hands either. So if I want to get a job, yes, there are literally coaches out here who will say, all you have to do is affirm and the job will fall in your lap. Like, okay, that's cool. But if you guys listen to what I say in my intro, I'm a rapid manifestation coach. We want things to come quickly. And anytime you are adding in, right, like changing your thoughts, changing your affirmations and beliefs, anytime you're adding that with the action energy of bringing, like taking these little steps, you are just accelerating your manifestation. So yeah, I was going out, I was looking only for remote jobs, for things that I thought would make me happy, for things that were over my particular income threshold that I wanted to set. And I was applying for them. Like, why not? Now, some of the things that happened as a result of me taking these micro actions, I learned about platforms that I'd never heard of before. Like all these freelancer platforms like Upwork and some other thing, like something about gigs, like where you can just like sign up as like, I don't know, like a virtual assistant or something, and you can get gigs from there. But I was learning about all these things I never learned about. And I'd be like, oh, okay, well, let me check this out. Like this wasn't even on my radar. Now it's here. And I got my job from Upwork. So I was applying there, and the way it happened was crazy. This is how you know manifestation like is really, really real. I applied for one job that I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. It's remote, but the guy is local. He's like local in like a nearby city, so it won't be like it's really weird cross country type of thing. It's my first remote job. I can just, get my feet wet. It's paying exactly what I want, doing exactly what I want. And you guys, when I applied, I got a message back from his assistant or whatever, and his assistant was like, "Oh my gosh, we were going to close the job today. And we were done with interviews. We saw your application and something about it just stood out. And instead of closing the job, we let you slide in as the very last applicant. We thought we were going to hire somebody else. And instead, they ended up giving me the job. Okay. So manifestation definitely works. So yes, I was doing the thoughts. I was doing the affirmations. I was doing the micro actions. I was also heavily focusing on gratitude, because literally going into that job every day was ruining my life. Like it was so bad. I was so miserable every morning. And so I had to really shift my mindset in order to be able to even focus on the possibility of a new job and to even try to get excited about that and not just be like down in the dumps every day because of my current situation. The only thing that helped me was gratitude. That's it. Being able to write down every day in that same planner. Probably every day I would write down 10 to 15 things that I was grateful for. It took that much energy and effort for me to like really flip my attitude and my mindset. And I would just write down these things that I was grateful for, find small things. Even if I got a call back from a potential employer, I was like, oh my God, I got a call back today. Like I'm getting close. And even if something good happened at school, like, oh, today was like fine. Like it was a test day. Everyone was quiet. No one was like, I'm not too, my energy wasn't drained too much. Like I was just writing down anything that I could think of that happened that was good that day. And I think that was instrumental in keeping me in a space of positive momentum, positive forward momentum. So that's why I tell you guys gratitude is so important, because otherwise the current situation that you're in can literally drag you down so much that all you're going to do is manifest more draggy, bringing me down situations. And we don't want that to happen. So along with the affirmations, along with taking the micro actions, you must do something to keep yourself moving in a positive momentum. Just try to think about it like that. You're always moving forward when you're keeping yourself in a space of being grateful in the present moment. Once you start just being negative and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like a grumpy Cookie Monster. No, it's not Cookie Monster. It's Oscar the Grouch. Then you're going to start to like roll back, and that's when you're going to not see progress and you're going to feel stuck. So moral of the story, use your affirmations to change your thoughts, do your micro actions to get you there, and keep yourself in the present moment. Keep yourself in a positive and hopeful environment. I do that using gratitude and just doing other things that make me happy. So you don't have to like constantly focus and obsess over what you want, over this new job, you know, just whatever it takes. And you don't have to constantly be happy, but you just don't need to constantly be dwelling in the current situation that's bringing you down. Okay. There was also one other thing that I was doing at the time that I got from another YouTuber. Like, again, it was 5 years ago. I don't even remember this guy's name. I think it was Robert. I don't know. But he was saying that something you could do to rapidly accelerate your manifestation was give in order to receive. Whatever you wanted to receive, you needed to give it out. And so I was like, how can I give a remote job? Like, that's weird. I couldn't do that. But y'all, I figured it out. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start letting everyone know when I see great remote job opportunities that I think might fit them. And so that's what I was doing. I was texting like my cousins, my friends. I'd be like, oh, hey, heard you're looking for a job. This job is hiring, da, da, da. And so to me, I felt like I was giving that out. I was giving out those opportunities. And so they were coming back to me quickly. I don't know. I was doing that a lot back in the day when I was manifesting. Because like I said, I was using like law of attraction principles. And so that was a attraction principle, like whatever you're giving, you'll get back. So I might do another video on that to expand on all those times that I was doing that in the future. But anyway, I don't really do it anymore, but it's always a great idea. All right, I will see you guys in the next video. Hope that helped.